I'm back! Happy Civil War weekend, everyone. I am back. I'm sorry that I have been gone. No excuses, I've just been lazy. Lots going on at work. I went home for my birthday, which was on the 2nd, and so I am now getting back into the swing of things. But today I'm gonna be doing a video I haven't done in so long. Like, I couldn't even tell you the last time I did this video, but I'm going to be doing a favorites video. Now, this is not going to be like an April favorites video because let's face it, I haven't done one in a long time. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. So I'm gonna be talking about kind of my current favorites, and I've got beauty, I've got fashion, I've got random stuff. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so the first category I am going to be talking about today is going to be makeup. And I'm going to start with the two items that I got from the Sephora VIB sale. They had the 20% off sale for, I think it was like a week, and I actually made two purchases. The other two are things I use all the time, but I decided to treat myself. And I ended up ordering two products from Tarte. The first one I wanna talk about is the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. This stuff is really great. I really love this. The applicator is kind of strange. It's like, this is a water foundation, and so it has a dropper, and you essentially like press the button and it comes out. But this stuff is really great because it's really lightweight, but at the same time, it's not necessarily light coverage. Like, you could make it light coverage if you really wanted to. You could just put not as much on, but you really can build this up, and it has more of a thickness than I thought it would have because it is a water foundation, which means that it's just like a really high percentage water. But this stuff is really great. Tarte is a really great company that doesn't use a bunch of like weird preservatives and stuff in their makeup, as well as skin-friendly products, which is something that is huge for me. This is great, really lightweight. It feels really good on your skin. I use it with a beauty blender or with my fingers. Pretty spectacular. The next product I have, you might have already seen as I was moving and doing things, but is another product by Tarte, and this is the Tartelette in Bloom eyeshadow palette, and this is absolutely gorgeous. And it looks like this on the inside. It's kind of an awkward angle. This doesn't go all the way back like my Stila one, so I'm a little like, this is kind of awkward, but the colors are so incredibly beautiful, and I love this. I was not a huge fan of the actual like Tartelette regular palette, but this one, first of all, has beautiful packaging, but these colors just suit me a little bit better. They're a little bit warmer. I'm definitely a warm toned eyeshadow person, and all of these are beautiful. I've used almost all of them. I haven't used these darker in the corner just because, like I said, these are a little bit cooler, so I don't really tend to use them as much. And the interesting about this is it's kind of, I don't know if it's scented or it's just the products that they use to make this, but it actually smells really good, and I was worried it was gonna irritate my skin because you guys know I'm allergic to fragrance, but I really think that this is just the way it smells and that there's not actually fragrance in it, because I've had zero problems. These blend beautifully, they go onto the skin beautifully, they're really pigmented, they're just overall really beautiful. Highly recommend this palette. And I'm sorry if the light changes, I'm using natural lighting, so it might look a little weird sometimes. It's gonna change a lot, and we're just gonna have to deal with it. The next thing I want to talk about is a new lipstick color that I got that I am trying. It's very out of my comfort zone, but I wore it yesterday. I really like it, and I really like the formula. It stays put forever, and it is the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip. This is like the liquid lipstick, and this is in the color Pacifica. As you can see, it is a pretty bright pastel-y orange. It might look a little more red on camera than it actually is, but this is really beautiful, and I'll insert a picture of me wearing it somewhere on here, maybe over here on Snapchat. I really like this. It really stayed put. I ate an entire meal and it still looked like I had just put it on. So I'm giving this an A+. It just is like a really fun statement lip for spring, I think, without being like a dark red or a bright red. This is something a little bit different. I will say it makes your teeth look pretty yellow, so you have to be really careful. I just did a whitening strip the day before I wore this, and it was fine, but just know your teeth might look a little yellow while you're wearing it. Really good, and I really have enjoyed this a lot. Next thing is not a makeup product, but it is in the beauty category, and I'm going to talk about it because I have two other products I want to talk about that kind of go together. But this one is the Chanel Chance Eau Fresh. This is my like signature smell. But as the weather has gotten a little bit warmer, it feels a little more like springtime. I've really enjoyed wearing this even more than usual. I go through phases where I don't wear perfume at all and I just like to be natural, and then other times you smell things and they smell so good. This is kind of an expensive perfume, but I am really sensitive to smells as far as like getting migraines, and also just like I have a super nose, so I smell everything. And I really enjoyed that this has been so light, so fresh, but it stays on, you can still smell it. And I think if you were to like ask somebody what I smelled like, if they smelled this, they'd be like, this is Parker, because that's pretty much all I wear perfume wise. I have a couple of others like the Nirvana Black and White from Elizabeth and James that I love, but that's the one I always end up going back to. So if you're looking for a new perfume, definitely check out the Chanel range in general is really beautiful, but the O2 Fresh is such a clean, out of the shower, you take care of yourself kind of smell, and I really love it. So the next two things I'm going to talk about, one I love and one I absolutely hate, and it is new foundation primers. Now I use the Hourglass foundation primer for so long and I love it, I still love it. I would use it if I really had the money to spend on it, but truth is it's expensive, it's around 50 bucks, and I just am like, I don't really want to spend my money on that. So I decided to try some new things, and the first one I tried is the one that I absolutely hated, and this is going to be controversial, but this is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Now the reason I hate this is that it literally broke me out in blisters, not zits, blisters all along my chin. For weeks I'd been using it, thinking that it was okay, didn't really mind it, but I was breaking out so bad, and they were almost like sores rather than actual zits. And I realized that the only thing that I had changed in my entire routine was this, and I really hate this. I realized more that since I figured out that this is what was causing my skin problems, I also realized that my makeup just did not settle onto my face when I was wearing this. Once I changed back to a different primer, life was so much better. But this stuff, I'm telling you, if you have sensitive skin, and the sensitive skin version of this sucks, and this is so much better, but if you have sensitive skin, this made my skin feel like it was burning, it constantly felt dry, it felt tight, it felt bad, and then I just had blisters all along my chin, which you might be able to see kind of the remnants of where those blisters were. I broke out so badly, so be careful if you have sensitive skin. Not my favorite. But the thing I did end up replacing that with was that I went into Clinique to buy my deodorant because, like I said, I can't use fragrance, so I use a Clinique deodorant that's really great. And while I was there, I was like, Clinique is made for people with really sensitive skin, so I asked them if they had a foundation primer, and they had the Clinique Super Primer Universal Face Primer, and this stuff has been a lifesaver. My skin feels totally different than it did with the Smashbox one. It's really lightweight, it feels almost like you're putting on a moisturizer. I've really enjoyed this, and it really does keep your makeup on well. It just makes it go on a lot smoother, a lot prettier, and my skin is thanking me over and over and over again for using something that is for sensitive skin. Now that's all I have for makeup, so I'm going to move on to fashion. And the first thing I have here is this really cool bralette that I got from a place called Dolls Kill, which I got a gift card for in the BeautyCon BFF box. It was the one that Graveyard Girl did, and I was like, oh, what's this website? It sounds kind of funky. But then I went on. Indeed, it was funky, but I had 20 bucks and I saw this really awesome bralette. I'm trying to figure out how I can show you this and do it justice, but it's just this kind of sweetheart bandeau with these really cool strappings that kind of go like, one goes straight up the middle of your chest and then they go over, and it kind of has this like tank top style top. And I really love this. I think this is so cool under tank tops that are a little bit lower, that you don't really want to wear a tank top with, but you do want something there. I think this is really great, and I ordered a medium and it fits me just fine, and I'm about a 34B. So this has been really awesome, really comfortable, and it's got this kind of like piping in the sides, or not, it's not piping, what's it called? Like wiring in the sides, so it keeps it nice and sturdy and in place, and I've really loved that, especially underneath my next favorite, which is something I got from Nordstrom a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and it is this really pretty shirt by Lush, and it is just a basic gray t-shirt, but it's in this really awesome flowy, pretty fabric. It's got a pocket on the front, and this hangs down pretty low, like it's a pretty wide-necked shirt. And when I put this bralette underneath it, you can kind of see it poking out of the top, and it just kind of looks like cool girl, like Tumblr girl, which everybody wants to look like at some point, right? My second to last fashion favorite is something I've actually owned for so long, but it is one of these slouchy sweaters from Brandy Melville. They're the ones, they're cardigan style, so you just put them on. They're really, really flowy, really drapey. They have kind of a bat wing on them, so they're not like a straight sleeve. They kind of fall off the shoulder. And I have this one, and I have one in like a tan-ish color, and I have been wearing this particular one for always. Like, I've been wearing it so much lately. It's really great over tank tops when it's like not too cold outside, but it's also not necessarily warm and you want a little jacket to go over it. This has been really comfortable, and it looks cute in so many different outfits. It's not any better. It's just so dark. I'm sorry, the sun is setting. We're just gonna deal with it. So the last fashion favorite that I have for you is kind of a leisure wear, if we're using those kind of fashion-y terms. But it is these pair of shorts, which are gonna look really, probably very strange on camera, but they are a pair of workout shorts from, believe it or not, Walmart, and they are kind of the running shorts style. These look really big because they are too big for me, but it's really pretty black and white pattern, and I have these in about 4 different colors because they have built-in, if I can do this, spandex. So for us girls that have a little bit thicker legs, and you know, sometimes in the summer you want to wear shorts, but then your legs kind of rub together and it gets uncomfortable. Well, these shorts I think are gonna be awesome for summer and for working out in general, or just lounging around, because they have that added layer of spandex, which means that you don't have to put your own on, you're not gonna be too hot, and they have really fun colors, and the best part is they're like under $10, and they remind me of the Nike shorts, which I used to wear all the time, but they're honestly more comfortable, and they do run a little, it's Walmart, so the sizes aren't gonna be great, but the mediums were a little bit too small for me because I have a big butt, but the larges are like way too big. So just kind of judge it. You might have to try them on to see what size is best for you. I probably could have gotten away with a medium, but I decided to go for a large because I'd rather be comfortable than have them be too small. So I love these. So if you are a shorts kind of girl in the summer, just like a leisure wear, or a guy, give these a try. I think you'll really like them. Okay, so that is it for my fashion favorites, and now I'm gonna go into my kind of random stuff. The first 2 things I have are 2 books that I read over the past couple of months. I've been really bad about reading, but I recently got back into it, and I read 2 books that I thought I would mention to you guys. The first one is The Killing Woods, and this is by Lucy Christopher? Yes, Lucy Christopher, which I read a book of hers a while back called Stolen. You guys might have heard of it. It got kind of big for a little bit, but she is kind of a thriller writer, and this is called The Killing Woods, and this is about a girl whose father is a war veteran, and one day he comes out of the woods carrying a dead body. And so it's kind of a mystery of like, why was he there? Why does he have the dead body? Did he kill her? Did he save her? What happened? But I really enjoyed it. I listened to most of it on Audible, and I just really love it. So if you're looking for kind of a thriller, or you really like Stolen, give this book a try. I think you'll really like it. Next book I have to talk about is one I absolutely loved, and I went home to Memphis last week to go home for my birthday to see my family, and I had 2 pretty long plane rides, and so I read an entire book front to back in my plane journey home. So you can tell I love to read. I'm a very fast reader, but this one just gripped me, and this is the best book I've read in a really long time as far as novels go. This is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. Now, I will warn you that this book is a huge trigger warning, and I'm giving you a warning now because I am going to talk about it, but this is kind of a rape trigger warning. If you don't want to hear about it, fast forward like 30 seconds and we can keep talking. But this is a book about a girl who gets raped by her brother's best friend when she's 14, and it kind of is told in freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year of high school, and how it affects her entire life moving forward, and you know, how it affects her friendships, how it affects her relationships, how it affects her image of herself, how it affects her schoolwork, so many different things. And to me, this was just so well written, and it seemed so realistic, and it didn't try to like glamorize it, it didn't try to lecture, it didn't try to tell you what was the thing you should have done and what you shouldn't have done. I just feel like, personally, I've never been through this experience, but I feel like this, to me, paints a very realistic picture of what it's really like to be assaulted and the aftermath of it. And I read the whole thing front to back. It's really good. It's her first novel by Amber Smith, and I think she knocked it out of the park. So this is the favorite book I've read in a long time, and so I think everyone should read it. It's really good. If you are comfortable with the subject matter, I really think you should look into it. Okay, and then I have a couple last things to talk about with you. I have them written down, and I also have them on my phone. So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is Project Runway. I am obsessed with Project Runway. You may think, Parker, you're like 10 years too late. I know, but I started watching it on Hulu because I saw an episode on TV and I was like interested in it, so I went to see if it was anywhere online. It's on Hulu Plus, and I've watched, like, not kidding you, probably 6 seasons over the past like 2 months, and I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. I think Tin Gun is like the best person in the whole world. I want him to be my grandpa. I want him to be my glampaw, as my Twitter bio says, but I love Project Runway. I'm fascinated by it because it's something I absolutely cannot do, and they can make like a couture gown out of dinner napkins, and I'm like, how do you do that? That's amazing. And I love it, and I just want to share it with the whole world. So if you love Project Runway too, let's talk about it. The next thing I have, which I can't believe I haven't talked to you guys about this, I feel like it's been so long since I've done like this type of video to talk about these things, but is podcast. I love podcasts. I've been obsessed with them over the past couple of months. I always thought that they were something for like 40-year-old people who didn't want to listen to music, so they listened to like talk radio but through an iPod. Not true. There are shows like that, but there's so many good ones out there, and I just want to tell you guys a couple of my favorites. My #1 favorite is Not Too Deep with Grace Helbig, who is a YouTuber. You guys probably know who she is. Her podcast is amazing. It's so funny. It's so not serious, hence the title Not Too Deep, but it's like an hour of them just being totally ridiculous. She has a ton of YouTubers come on and talk. Sometimes she gets like TV personalities and stuff to come and talk on it too, and it is fantastic. I've listened to every single episode, and there's a lot of them, and they're all like an hour long, and I just binged all of them. I love them. They're fantastic. You should go listen to that one. The next one that I love to death is Psychobabble with Tyler Oakley. So funny. That one's shorter. It's about 30 minutes long. It's Tyler Oakley and Corey Cool, who are best friends, also YouTubers. They're just hilarious and ridiculous human beings, and if you just want to laugh a lot, you need to listen to that one. The next one I have is another YouTube podcast. I know, but that's how I discovered podcasts, and it's been really great. But Ingrid Nilsson and Kat Valdez now have their own podcast called Ladies Who Lunch, where they talk about life issues, things like that, about being a woman. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're really serious, and they're great. They're like an hour long and really great for commutes, and I love Ingrid. She's my favorite YouTuber ever, so of course I'm gonna listen to her podcast. The next one I have is Girl Boss, which is Sophia Amoruso, who is the founder of Nasty Gal. It's her podcast, and it's just all about girl bosses, and she brings in all of these people who are super successful. All of them have been women, and just how they got into the position that they're in, what they're doing for women in the workspace, things like that. I love it. Her book is also amazing. I should mention that. It's back there on my table. I should have included it in this, but also read Girl Boss. It's really awesome. She's really funny, she's really down to earth, she's really real, and her podcast is both funny and really inspirational, so listen to that one. And if you like podcasts, I now am doing my floor sits videos as podcasts. So I have a SoundCloud account, which you can click on down in the down bar below, or I might link it somewhere, if possibly here. Go check it out on SoundCloud. I'm gonna try to do all of them as podcasts now, and I hope you guys will enjoy that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I've been gone for a bit, but I'm going to try to come back and get more regular videos out. Like I said, happy Civil War weekend. I hope you guys enjoyed the movie as much as I did. No spoilers down here, but also Team Iron Man. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. I will be back very soon. In the meantime, my name is Parker. This is Stories in the Dust, and I really hope you'll stick around a while. Bye guys. Spider says bye too. Bubba. Bye guys.